So we're going to see longer days on market, but you're not going to see a drastic decline in real estate sales prices here in Santa Cruz County. The housing market in the start of 2024 was really interesting. From rising interest rates, an increase in inventory, and record-breaking insurance costs really impacted the affordability for many buyers. But even so, the market continued to really favor a seller's market. Homes were still selling above asking, we were still getting multiple offers, and it was largely due to the overall supply versus demand. Classic economics. Now that hasn't changed necessarily in the past month, but there are signs of a slight shift happening. Not necessarily in a negative sense, but it's definitely good to know about. And let's go through them. Now, historically, the summer is often the best time to list your home because families are out and about. We usually get high traffic through our open houses, but this summer has been pretty unique. The open houses have actually been a little bit slower than they have in previous years, but I'm not sure if that is necessarily due to the market itself or the fact that this has just been a crazy hot summer and everyone's just been going to the beach every single weekend. That being said, what I am noticing is of the people that are coming through open houses, they are incredibly serious buyers. It's been really rare to find the looky-loos of the world coming along through open houses and requesting property tours. Whereas the past few years when it was much cheaper to buy a house, you did get a lot of that. I don't want you to panic and think that our market's changing and your home's gonna sit on the market forever. That's not what I'm saying. But the dynamics and the way we experience a home listing is starting to have some differences than it did in previous months before. And this is really important to just take note of. If you put yourself in a buyer's shoes, they have record-breaking cost of living from insurance and interest rates and inflation. It's really expensive to buy a home right now. But buyers are still out and they are hungry. So your really sexy, good, solid homes, those are the ones that are selling the fastest. That's been the story throughout 2024. But if you recall, we briefly discussed in the past the lawsuit that had settled recently with the National Association of Realtors. Now, those new rule changes go into effect next month, and I'm very curious how they are going to impact the buying cycle. And I'm very curious how they're going to impact both buyers and sellers locally here. While ultimately the changes are good to see and I'm here for it, there are some sellers out there that are going to try and do things a little bit differently by not allowing their listing agent to split commission with the buyer's agent. Ultimately, that cost will then be passed on to a buyer, which remember, buyers are already getting slammed with the higher cost of living. So to add another cost onto them, well, if they're faced with that situation, they're going to be much less likely to buy your house. Or they may ask you for a credit to put towards closing costs to help them offset the affordability. Now, closing costs, credits, and these requests have actually been kind of normal in negotiations in this market for the past, I would say about year and a half or so, since the interest rates really spiked up above 6%. But while they are starting to come down a little bit, they haven't quite come down too much. So will we see more credits in the future? Will that impact the market negatively? I don't know, but that is something I'm really interested to see as we progress through the summer and see all these new changes come into effect next month. Now, moral of the story, homes are still selling above asking. My sellers, you just need to be patient with the market, understand that buyers are making decisions, they are buying homes, they are paying top dollar, but they are more patient with their search process right now, and they are willing to sit on a home and risk it for a few weeks to make sure it truly works for them first. So we're going to see longer days on market, but you're not going to see a drastic decline in real estate sales prices here. So let's see how we progress through the summer here in Santa Cruz County and what's going to pan out as we move through August with all the new rule changes and head towards that November election. Thank you so much for watching my real estate market update this month, and I hope you tune in again next month. Cheers!